tyres biting into the ground, looking for every ounce of grip, deforming and manipulating to suit the terrain, cutting through the dirt and keeping the bike rubber side down. But beyond the tyres is the single most important component of the bicycle, the wheels. Handling rough, rocky terrain, taking hit after hit while still rolling true, compressing one way then quickly to the next, scaling mountains and descending cliffs. These are the unsung heroes. But what exactly does a wheel go through? Thanks to Giant for lending us a set of the new TRA wheels. The TRA wheel set is Giant's tough wheel set, as used by their factory off-road team in enduro and downhill racing by riders like Luke and Remy Meyer-Smith, Remy Tyrion and Ewan Denio. So today we've got a very expensive super slow-mo camera and GMBN's version of the Stig. Oh no, sorry, you couldn't be here today. You got me to really ride these wheels hard and see exactly what happens to these wheels when you ride proper technical terrain. But what makes a good wheel set? Hitting hard edges at speed really tests the resilience of your tyres and rims. There are lots of hard edges and rocks in this part of North Wales. I'm sure we've all pinch flatted or ripped tyres. A wider rim width and stronger sidewall broadens the contact point between tyre and rim and reduces that risk of damage. But strong and stiff aren't necessarily what you want from the wheels. You want them to feel good, but also if they're really stiff, it passes that vibration onto the rider. And you want to ride these things hard for a long time, and that could be more uncomfortable, even more tiring, and sometimes make things like arm pump worse if they're really stiff. The alloy rim profile is unique. It's called the wide guard technology, with a broad 30mm inner rim width and 5mm thick walls. There's a hollow rim design to keep the weight low, and these rims are designed and built to let you run lower tyre pressures for added compliance without the use of tyre inserts. Tyre inserts add rotating mass to the wheel, so the further the mass is away from the hub, the more difference it makes. So a good tyre and rim combo without the inserts is good for lower rotational mass. And the mass chat doesn't finish there. The unsprung mass, basically the weight that isn't suspended by your shocks, which is mainly your wheels and tyres, the lower that is, the more freely your suspension can move. And don't forget the hubs. There's 72-tooth hub engagement for instant power transfer and an oversized drive side hub bearing for added durability, as well as oversized pulls inside the free hub. There are 28 straight pull SAPIM laser spokes, which is a relatively low count, which adds to the compliance, which I'll get to in just a second. And the mixed wheel size set I have here weighing at just over 1900 grams for the pair. There's an e-bike optimized set of these wheels as well. So the e-bike optimized rear hub comes with a strengthened steel axle and driver body, designed for the torque of MTB riding and racing. As well as things like spoke counts, rim widths and wheel diameters, one of the main decisions when it comes to upgrading your wheels is whether to go for aluminium or carbon rims. And if you look at a lot of the top World Cup enduro racers, they're choosing aluminium rims. Why is that? Alloy rims can be built nice and strong, and that's great for gravity riding because they can dent and bend and normally still be completely usable, whereas carbon fibre wheels often have a much more catastrophic failure. By contrast, if you look at cross-country races, I think every single one of them will be running carbon rims. So the manufacturers can change the design and the layup of the carbon fibre to give them the lightness they need for the climbing efficiency, but also the stiffness and strength for the demands of modern cross-country racing. But that's not to say that carbon fibre rims can't be used for burlier riding too. If you look at downhill World Cup races, there is a real mix of carbon and alloy rims. And it often comes down to rider preference. It's a bit of a generalisation, but carbon rims are often stiffer. That comes down to what the rider wants. And in a video I recently did, I saw that a lot of riders, if they're riding a carbon fibre frame, they choose alloy rims and vice versa. If you've got an alloy frame, they choose carbon fibre rims. Compliance is a word that gets thrown around a lot, but what does it actually mean? Well, when it comes to wheel sets, it's like how much give does your wheel have? If a wheel has very little compliance, that means it'll be very stiff, which is good for power transfer and having a more direct feel from your bike, but there are downsides. This stiffness can mean that your wheel set feels harsh and it pings off rocks and roots and other bumpy parts of the trails. And that can feel uncomfortable and take more out of you as the rider. But a big one can mean that you also don't have as much grip, as the rim can't conform to the trail as much as a rim with more compliance. And sometimes carbon rims can feel a bit more skippy when you do reach the edge of your grip. The Giant TRA wheel system have a 21mm rim depth to aid that compliance, and an aluminium rim is often a rider favourite for feel. So why would you want a stiff set of wheels? They are responsive, strong, they have good power transfer, they're supportive in berms and compressions, and the climbing response. So why would you want more flex in your wheel? Your bike is more comfortable, it's smoother to ride, has better grip, and your suspension works vertically, but when your bike's leant over, that is compromised. So some flex in the wheel set is going to help your bike suspension feel much better. As you can probably tell by now, there's so many variables when it comes to picking a new wheel set for your bike. But for me, I think compliance is really high up on the list of what I want out of a set of wheels. But I've not even really talked about what frame material or what style of riding you're doing and why you would choose those. But let me know in the comments down below if you're thinking about getting a set of wheels with alloy rims as your next upgrade and why you'll pick them.